And welcome to a brand new episode of This Week in Disney History. I am your host, Milo Beasley. And we have another fun one for you this week. This week of 4th of July. So of course that means attraction openings, more movie openings, and actually some really cool news and tidbits that the Walt Disney Company did. When? This week in Disney. It's really, I'm just going to... where did we leave off at? June 27th. So we're going to start with June 28th, 1929, a Mickey Mouse film all the way back in 1929 titled Plowboy is released. No real significance other than it is the film debut of my friend Horace Horsecollar. So congratulations, Horace. Welcome to the Disney family. Staying on June 28th, 1987, Snow White receives her Hollywood Walk of Fame star. It's really cool if you've ever been out there on Hollywood Boulevard by the El Capitan. You can see the Snow White, Tinkerbell, Winnie the Pooh, all have their stars out there, so it's really cool. Also this day, June 28th, 1988, the Grand Floridian Resort opens at the Walt Disney World Resort right by Magic Kingdom. And I think a bunch of the NBA teams are going to be staying there soon. I think the Magic, the Thunder, I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to be there. So do not go and stalk the Grand Floridian Resort looking for NBA players. Matthew. Moving on to June 29th. June 29th, 1974, America Sings debuts at the Disneyland Park. Unfortunately, it is not there anymore, but you can still see some of the animatronics in the Splash Mountain ride from America Sings. They're all like, it's the boat scene when they're like, don't hire me to be an animatronic. I'm not very good at it. Staying on June 29th, 2000, the Mickey and Friends parking lot structure is completed at the Disneyland Park. So now there's like 6 stories to park in, so the more the merrier. And then you can always park at the Toy Story or then across the... Anyway. June 29th, we're going to stay on June 29th, 2017, Disney Pixar's Ratatouille debuts at a theater near you. I just really wanted to mention this so I could show this cool picture from Disneyland Paris when I did the Run Disney race over there. Hi, me. Moving on to June 30th, 1993, the Walt Disney Company purchases Miramax Films for $60 million. And Jason Mewes becomes the greatest Disney princess. See, he's Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. See, they released all these films on Miramax because... Hey, are you a fan of Captain EO? If you are, you're going to hear Captain EO's name mentioned several times throughout this broadcast, starting with this June 30th, 2010. Tokyo Disneyland sees the revival of Captain EO at their park. Fast forward to 4 years later, exactly 4 years later, June 30th, 2014, Captain EO shuts down at the Tokyo Disneyland Park. Awkward. Oh, and something I was there for, June 30th, 2018, just 2 years ago, opening day for Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios here. I'm going to show a little video. This is me being like one of the very first people, and I think the timestamp was 6:08 a.m., one of the very first people let into Toy Story Land on June 30th, 2018. I absolutely love Toy Story Land. It's one of my favorite places. The Slinky Coaster is one of my favorite coasters. You're like, oh, it's a baby coaster. No, it's really cool. Trust me. Moving on to July. We're now in July, a brand new month. July 1st, 1966. Primeval World, a attraction from the World's Fair, debuts at the Disneyland Park. You can now see the dinosaur diorama from Primeval World if you take the train at Disneyland. It's past as you get on at Toontown, and then you make your way around to by Autopia, and then you make your way, and then you'll see it. Yep, it's there. Dinosaurs. going to have to delete that. Where are we at? They're still on June 1st, July 1st, 1975. The People Mover debuts at the Magic Kingdom at the Walt Disney World Resort. July 1st, 1988. Right? Yes. The Norway Pavilion opens up to guests at the Epcot Center for the very first time. And I can't wait to go back just to eat the school bread. It is the best. July 1st, 1994, I think. Yes, 1994. Still at Epcot Center. Innovations East and West opens up to guests. Of course, now it is... I don't even know if those buildings are there anymore. It's been so long since I've been there. And then, but speaking of the Epcot Center, an Epcot Resort, the Boardwalk opens this day, July 1st, 1996, to make it easier for it to get into the park. It's way easier. And then this day, July 1st, 2011, Goofy Sky School opens up in Paradise Pier at Disney's California Adventure. It is the scariest ride in the park, trust me. Moving on to July 2nd, 1967, another big day in Disneyland's history. This sees the debut of the Disneyland Rocket Jets, the Disneyland People Mover, the General Electric Carousel of Progress, the Tomorrowland Terrace restaurants. And I'll give you $1 if you can tell me which of those still remains. Oh, seriously, tell me. I know. Staying on July 2nd, right? We're on July 2nd, 2010. Oh, another thing I was there for, but I didn't have, I don't think smartphones were a thing back then. So 2010. Captain EO, I told you you'd hear that name again, makes its return to the Epcot Center, replacing Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. I absolutely loved it. But the 3D glasses, not necessarily the greatest. I don't necessarily, but absolutely love Captain EO. Sad to see it go, but I'm sure it'll return for like the 5th or 6th time at the Epcot. And then July 2nd, 2017, just 3 years ago, the last day of Disney Quest at Downtown Disney. Super sad. July 3rd, 1985 is the very first flight of Tinkerbell at the Magic Kingdom Park. Now, of course, it was supposed to just be a seasonal or a once in a while type thing, but now it's a tradition. You get to see Tinkerbell fly from the castle. Do that again. I'm just gonna 30 minutes of this. Still on July 3rd, 2009, the Hall of Presidents at the Magic Kingdom reopens, this time featuring the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. So finally, here we are, July 4th, big fireworks. Do I have like fireworks emojis or anything I can put on? Pretend I do. Or if I do, pretend I'm not saying pretend I do. We're going to look at the editing stuff afterwards. July 4th, 1979, the very first baby is born at the Disneyland park. You're like, what? Yes! The benches behind the Plaza Inn, the very first baby is born in Disneyland Park. And you're like, well, Milo, I've sat in those seats before. Yeah, me too. There's a baby. It's like right there. July 4th. What is this? I'm trying to read. 87. I'm trying to read without making it obvious. I'm reading. 1987, Tokyo Disneyland's Big Thunder Mountains opens up to guests. This is my second favorite Big Thunder Mountain behind Paris's. So, a little tidbit. Paris's is, I know that we're supposed to be talking about Tokyo's Big Thunder Mountain, but every time I talk about Big Thunder Mountain, I just want to talk about how cool Paris's is. So finally, wrapping it up, big patriotic July 4th, 1989. Look at it without making it look like I'm reading it. 1989, the Liberty Bell is installed in Liberty Square at the Magic Kingdom. So I know it's not open, but here's a big salute to the Liberty Bell. USA, USA. Everyone with me, USA. So thanks for watching this week in Disney history. Make sure you do the cool subscribe, follow, like, share, do all those super cool things, and hit me with your feedback as well. And yeah, so thanks for watching this week in Disney history, and I'll see you next week in Disney history.